And welcome back to Simply Forex, the channel dedicated to you, the trader. We want you to be successful in the markets. So guys, I'm going to give you some gold every day. I'm going to let you know which currency pairs I'm looking to trade and which direction. And I'm also going to let you know which news that you must be aware of. So let's take a look at the chart and what I'm potentially going to trade today.
Good morning, traders. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. We are a little bit late this morning. What terrible. Oh, and it's okay. We're having a few technical difficulties, but no problem. We are live. So yeah, guys, I hope you're all well. Hope you're having a good trading week so far. We've already got a couple of questions on the live chat. So yeah, so Tony, morning Shabazz. Yeah, Tony, I'll get to your question in a minute because it will be relevant to one of the trades. But also everyone, guys, yeah, welcome to the live stream. Please get all your questions ready that you want answered. Anything to do with trading. Maybe you need help with a pair that you're in currently and you're trying to get out of this pair. Anything you like, guys, okay? So get all of your questions ready for the live stream, for this live stream. If you don't know, today is Wednesday. I'm sure you're aware of that. And it's the 28th of September. And again, I'm sure you're aware of that as well, guys. I can also hear my own voice, which is quite strange. Yeah, and also, guys, if you want to come on to the channel and actually chat with me face to face, you could even show me one of your charts. Then that is also possible, guys. And you'll see a link in the show notes, in the comments below. Yeah, you can come on, speak to me face to face and discuss any of your trades. Yeah, it'll be interesting, guys. Some of the other traders on the channel might be in the same trades. Also, guys, don't forget our Discord channel. That's also, we put that in put the link in the comments below the vids every day. But yeah, it's slowly growing, our Discord channel, and people are discussing trade ideas. So yeah, it's a great way to communicate with other traders. Okay, so like I say, guys, it's Wednesday, the 28th of September. And as always, morning, Jaylee, morning, Kev, morning, everyone. And as always, guys, we're going to take a look back at yesterday's trades. Let me have a quick sip of my morning vodka. You know this is part of my daily routine. Yeah, so we'll look back, and to this week, guys, the trades have been unbelievable. Like literally, they're all hitting the higher time frame targets within the day or a couple of days. So it's been a super profitable week so far, and yesterday was no different with our trade ideas, guys. They were all good trades. The direction was good. So I hope a few of you have got in on those trades. And we always like to hear from you guys. If you have been getting into the trades and you've been making some money, please let me know. Just leave a comment, because this is why we do the channel. I want you to be profitable. I want you to be consistently profitable. So it's the whole purpose of the channel, guys. So yeah, if you have a good trade, let us know. Jaturi, good morning. Morning, guys. Morning, everyone. So guys, we're going to start with yesterday's trades, guys. So Tuesday's trades, we had four. Did we have four? Yeah, four potential trades yesterday, guys. All right. The first one was this. This was the New Zealand dollar against the Canadian dollar. So we were shorting this, guys, and we were shorting this for obvious reasons. So this is the day chart. And it's clearly in a downtrend. Yeah, you don't have to be Warren Buffett to know this is in a downtrend. All right. And for the last, that was, last 2 days, we had these candles, and we were just trying to short from our gray zone, back down to this blue higher time frame target here. Okay. All right, so that was the trade idea. It's in a downtrend. We've got bearish candles on the day chart telling us sellers are in complete control of this market. Okay, if we zoom in, Let's zoom in a little bit. As you can see, it come up, hit our grey zone, and then literally this morning it has come down and hit our higher time frame target. Yeah, what a wonderful trade. Okay, but let's see on the H1, guys, if we could get in on this pair. Okay, so the direction was good, as you can see. But obviously the important thing is on the H1 chart, can we get into this pair? And the answer was yes. Let's have a look. So on the H1 chart, guys, all right, we had this. And there's a couple of interesting things I want to show you. I will also get, and I will also answer your question, Tony, about the 80%, 20% and how I take profit. All right, but let's look at this first. So, yeah, so price, like I say, by the time I start looking at the trades is around here. Okay, around 6, 7 o'clock. Okay, and then what we did see, guys, is this candle form. All right. But guys, I mean, this is a bearish candle. Yeah, I can understand why some of you would want to enter on this candle. But for me, this is an inside candle. And let me explain what an inside candle is. So if you look at the candle before it, this is the high, this is the low. Okay, and this candle, yeah, is within this high and low. Hence the name inside candle. Whoever created this name is a genius. Okay, we've also got this one here. Yeah, we've got this high, this is the low of the previous candle. And again, we've got an inside candle. And I'm going to show you how to trade inside candles. Yeah, so an inside candle could be a reversal pattern or it could be a continuation pattern. But it depends entirely on the next candle. Okay, so as you can see, the next candle was this candle, all right? And this closed back into the inside candle. It came down, tested the bottom of these candles, came back up, and for me, this is then a continuation. Okay, it's the same with this one, guys. The next inside candle, we had this candle here, and this has broken the highs of these candles. This tells me it's going to go higher. Okay, and it does. It goes higher. Don't get me wrong. It hasn't exactly rocketed off. But the inside candlestick pattern, it's the next candle is the important candle. Okay, so if for example, yeah, we have this inside candle here. So if it breaks this and we have a candle that stays broke, we can take shorts. But if we have a candle that closes back in, yeah, we look for longs. Or we have a candle that breaks the last highs of the inside candle. We go long, okay? So this is an inside candle, guys, and I just thought it's something you should know. You'll see these on all time frames, obviously, the day chart, H1, H4. So these are inside candles. So for me, these are not entry candles until the next candle. Okay, so this one we couldn't get in on, this one we couldn't get in on. Okay, the actual candle, arguably, you could get in on this candle with this trade. Okay, but I actually waited until this candle. Okay, because I remember one of the guys in our Discord channel, he was like, we're waiting for the candle on the New Zealand Canadian dollar. We're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. And of course we are, guys. Patience is so important in trading. You have to wait for that right candle. But I would argue both of these candles are acceptable, but this is more acceptable for me. Okay, so I entered on this candle. All right, I put my stop above here. I believe I put my stop just above, yeah, just above this grey zone. Give it a little bit of wiggle room, and then we come down. I closed 80% last night, Okay, so we closed 80% here, all right, and then we let 20% run down to our higher time frame target, okay, and closed the remaining 20% here. Okay, so New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, it was a lovely trade. The thing I was worried about, guys, is this. So if we go to the H4 chart, yeah, and all I'm seeing is this, had this candle and then this candle. So as I mentioned in Discord, there's a lot of buying pressure up into this gray zone, all right? So this was obviously a concern of mine, yeah? You know, do what the candles are telling you. However, as I said, I entered on that candle. You still have to remember that price is in a downtrend on the H4, yeah, until this high is broken, which it clearly wasn't, and it's still in a downtrend. Okay, so H4 structure was still with me on this trade. Okay, if we go back to the H1 chart, guys, this is all the intricacies of trading. These are all the little things that maybe some of you don't look for, but this is what I look for. Yeah, it's not just gray zone trade. I mean, sometimes it is that simple. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but you have to be aware of the whole picture and what's going on. So when I entered on this candle, guys, yeah, my entry candle, remember I entered here, put my stop here. Because of that H4 buying pressure, I am taking each candle at a time, okay? So I enter here, the next candle tells me things are okay. This candle makes me start to worry because of the buying pressure, but it never breaks the high of this H1 candle. Then we get another negative candle, negative candle, negative candle. Before you know it, it's hit target, okay? So the only candle that concerned me on the way down was this. But it didn't pick up traction. It didn't start coming up, yeah? The fact the next candle was red, carry on down. Okay, so yeah, a little bit of a lesson on reading the candles, guys. These give you all the information you need. Yeah, all the indicators are lagging. The candles are real time. Yeah, so yeah, this is what I'm looking for as I'm trading. Okay. Also, guys, Tony was interested in the 80-20%. All right. So, as I said, guys, this was my entry candle. All right. I enter 100% of my trade here. I put my stop loss here. All right. So, this is my risk. Yeah. This is what I'm risking on the trade. And this is 100%. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's $100 or $1,000. Yeah, we're talking percentages. So this is my risk. All right. I then enter the trade, as we said, and my first target, always my first target is the last H1 low. All right. So this area here is my first target. Okay. So as you can see, price comes down nicely. All right. And I close it here. I close it here for 80%. So when I close 80%, look how neat my drawing, my writing is with this mouse. Getting better every day with that. So that was a risk to reward of about 1 to 1.5. All right. Close 80%. I've secured profit. This makes me a happy trader. It also allows me to let the 20% that I have left to run. Okay. So 20% is left to run. Okay. Normally, guys, my target for the 20% is this blue line. Yeah. I've put the higher time frame target in for this reason. This is your 20% target, if you like. So when price come down to here, yeah, I close 20% of the trade. All right. So this is what I normally do. What you could do, All right. Let's look on the day chart. Yeah. Let's say your higher time frame target is down here. Yeah. Let's say your higher time frame target is all the way down here. So then what you can do on the H1 is just trail your stop. Okay, so your stop was originally here. Remember, this is only for 20%. You could then perhaps move your stop down to here, yeah, above this psychological level, above the moving average 20, yeah. And then if we get more price action, maybe price does this, move your stop to here, and so on. Yeah, this is trailing your stop. All right, so we could do this for the remaining 20%, guys. Okay. But yeah, that was the first trade from yesterday, guys, and I hope that answers your question, Tony. But New Zealand Canadian dollar short was a very lovely trade. Let me just have a quick look at the questions. So we answered that. Okay, yeah, so Abraham, I assume you're talking about the Euro New Zealand dollar trade. Okay, so let's have a look at that, guys. All right, so this was also a trade idea from yesterday, the Euro against the New Zealand dollar. Okay, and what we were trying to do was buy this pair, guys. Okay, so yeah, so we were trying to buy this pair. So price was clearly in an uptrend. Yeah, all right, clearly in an uptrend, guys. Okay, it broke these last highs that we were shorting from, and then we got this candle. Okay, and the idea was to come from our grey zone just up to this blue line. Okay, and again, that's exactly what happened. All right, the tricky bit here, which I think Abraham was alluding to, all right, New Zealand Canadian dollar. Okay, Abraham, well, we just looked at that. But yeah, the problem here was, yeah, so we look at the Euro New Zealand dollar, guys. All right, so this was a trade idea. So we were looking to buy this. This was the daily candle, and the idea was to come from this grey zone back up to this blue line. Okay, excellent trade, did exactly as we expected. The problem with this trade, guys, was this. If we go down to the H1 chart, we had this. So by the time I started trading was this, guy. So we only had, yeah, price come down to our grey zone, and we only had one grey zone. Price came down, and then we got this candle form. Okay, and I actually entered on this candle. Okay, entered here, put my stop below here. All right, and as you can see, guys, literally got taken out by a couple of pips. Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating in the markets than getting taken out by a pip and then for the market to go in the direction you expected. Okay, but the thing here, guys, is just to keep your psychology in check. Just keep nice and calm. Yeah, you had a losing trade, no problem. Okay, so this first candle here, we got stopped out. But then we had this candle, guys. Okay, which again closed back in to the grey zone, and it was larger. This candle was bigger than this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle. Okay, it's a very bullish candle. It's a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, to be exact. So dust yourself off. Don't be afraid to re-enter the trade, because look at the rewards we had here. Okay, so we got stopped out. I then re-entered on this candle. I put my stop below here. So again, guys, this was my risk. All right, and then as always, guys, as we just looked at, my first target are the last H1 lows. So let's put this across. Okay, so here is my first target, guys, and as you can see, price came up nicely. Didn't take that long, really. Okay, and I got a risk to reward. It was around 1 to 2.5. It was a beautiful risk to reward. I was a very happy camper, happy trader. All right. So we've closed 80%, and then I just let the extra 20% run up to here. Okay, and again, this got closed out this morning. All right. So yeah, that's just this here shows that you're going to have tricky trades. Every entry isn't perfect. Yeah, you think I've got the perfect entry with this candle, you get stopped out, dust yourself off, remain calm, remain focused, enter on the next candle that gives you a setup, and then look at your rewards. Yeah, the rewards were excellent on this trade from yesterday. Okay. Also, guys, if you look at the H4, yeah, so I also keep an eye on the H4 candles and when they finish, yeah. The H4 candle just backed me up. That H4 candle said, carry on with your trade, Tom. It's going to be a good one. Okay, that's what that H4 candle said, and we know the rest of the story. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we took profit. Yeah, nice trade. Okay, so the grey zone, yeah, it was a good grey zone. It just so happened that we had to have 2 bites at this cherry. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of questions. All right, so New Zealand CAD, you were looking at. Would I consider re-entering on a pullback of the New Zealand Canadian dollar? Okay, interesting question. Let's go back to New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay. So let's have a look at the weekly chart. So what Jade is asking is, price has come down, it's hit our target. Once we get a retrace, yeah, would you re-enter to take price back down? Okay, so looking at the weekly chart, guys, let's zoom across. So the reason I put this blue line here is A, it's a psychological level, and B, yeah, there is a little bit of historical reaction at this level. Bearing in mind, this is 2011. I wasn't even born. I'm a liar. Okay, so so for me, this 7,700 level is an important level. All right. We are quite oversold, sorry, on the day chart. Yeah, this is quite a distance from our moving average 20. Yeah, I don't use oscillators to tell me if things are overbought or oversold. I use my eyes and the chart and how far away it is from the moving average 20. Yeah, because you have to bear in mind, this is also the middle of a Bollinger Band, if any of you use that. Would I? Okay, Jade, you've got me thinking here. Would I? So, weekly chart, daily chart, again, we're pretty oversold. We're seeing a bit of a reaction here as we speak. If we go down to the H4, I probably would. If price retraced up into here, yeah, these last H4 lows, here and here, yeah, price come back up into here. We got a bearish reaction on the H1. I would probably look to take price back down to these lows. Yeah, I think it will retest these lows, yeah, and create a double bottom before it wants to come back up. So in your answer, Jade, if you forced me, what form of torture can we use today? If you stuck, I can't think of any torture. If you shot my kneecaps, I was just looking at my kneecaps. I don't know why. But yeah, if you shot my kneecaps, Jade, I'm sure you wouldn't. And you said, Tom, you had to trade this pair. Then on a retrace, I would. Yeah, like I say, price comes up to here and then we come down, back down to the lows. Okay, so I would still short that back down, but then I'm seeing a double bottom. Double bottoms, yeah, look like this. Yeah, it's not what you see on a Friday night. This is a candlestick pattern. All right. So yes, Jade, I would try to short this one more time if we got a retrace on New Zealand Canadian dollar. Okay. Okay, Abraham, do you trade after the first candle of the market open? I wait for the European and London markets to open. So maybe, 6 a.m. London GMT is pushing it a bit, but 7 a.m., 8 a.m. London GMT, that's when I'm looking to trade. So it doesn't matter if it's the first candle or the second or third. I'm just waiting for the candle that gives me the setup. All right, so New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, if we go back to this example. So this candle here literally happened at 7 a.m. Okay, so if that was a setup that I could trade, I explained to you earlier that it wasn't. But if that was a setup, no problem. Yeah, if it's at 7 a.m., I'd enter. Yeah, it just so happens the candle I entered on was here. It was like around midday. Yeah, so this is the candle I entered on. Yeah, to take price lower. So for me, as long as the European and London market have opened and there's volume in the market, then that's when I'm trading, regardless if it's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth candle. I'm just waiting for the candle that gives me my setup. Okay, but good question, Abraham. Don't trade like overnight when the volume is light. Yeah, you know what happens overnight. It's like this. Yeah, just nothing sort of happens overnight. It's this kind of idea, just nothing, just a load of nothing. Okay, it's not until the market's open, yeah, we start getting some movement. There's volume in the market. Okay. Okay, so Siam, you want me to take a look at some of the indices? All right. I've still got 2 more trades from yesterday. I will show you them in a minute. We've still got Bitcoin and gold to look at. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at one of the indices, guys. So this is the S&P. Let's bring this down. And we can also look at the Dow Jones. Okay, so yeah, I've done this from a previous, so this gray zone here was from a previous presentation that I did. All right, and this is obviously the key zone for the indices, for this specific indice, for the S&P 500. All right, so yeah, these lows here, we had a very strong reaction at these lows. All right, so the big question here is, will these lows hold? Okay, that's the big question. If we see a large bullish candle push away from this zone, then it could be a good buying option, a good buying opportunity. If price starts breaking this gray zone and we see a strong enough bearish candle, then we could start looking for shorts. Okay, so yeah, it depends what reaction we get at this gray zone, to be honest with you, Siam. Yeah, so it's a bit of a waiting game. Let's wait for the candles to tell us what's happening at this gray zone, and then we can trade accordingly. Okay, but I wouldn't be shorting this right now. Yeah, I cannot short into support. Remember, that's what crazy people do. But yeah, if anything, you could buy this market. Yeah, again, if you broke 4 of my fingers and left my thumb, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of unusual torture. And you said, Tom, I'm going to break 4 of your fingers and you have to trade this pair, I would buy it. I would buy it at this level. yeah, let me show you something, guys. So when price gets into a gray zone like this, we haven't had a bullish candle reaction. Yeah, you can see that. There is no strong green candle. But what we can do is go down to the lower time frames to look for clues. All right. So on the H4 chart, as you can see, these lows are just about holding. Yeah, we've had a push up, push up, push up. So perhaps there is a little bit of buying pressure here. Okay. What I would like to see on the H4 is a break in structure. Yeah, if price come up, broke these last highs, then came back down, then we could start looking for longs. All right. Again, if we go down to the H1 chart, let's look for clues on there. Consider yourself Sherlock Holmes when you are looking for these things. Again, this is clearly in a downward structure. Okay, but a lot of the time, guys, even if my bias on the day chart is buy or sell, I'm usually waiting for a change in H1 structure. Okay, so for me, a change in H1 structure would be this: a break of this level, these last highs, yeah, retest, take it long, probably take it back up to these highs. Okay, that would be a legitimate trade for me. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm talking about when looking for clues on the lower time frames. So that's the S&P. Let's look at this one. Let's look at the Dow Jones. So weekly chart, let's start there. So here, guys, we've got this level. Okay, so all of this grey zone comes into play here. Yeah, so you've got these highs over here. It bounced off and used it as support, it's bounced off again. Okay, so this grey zone is the important zone for the Dow Jones. All right. Again, on the weekly candle, guys, this candle, yeah, closed here. So it has broke these lows. Okay, so it has broke these lows, but it's in this grey zone. Again, we want to see a reaction out of here. We can start looking for longs, or if it carries on pushing down, we can start looking for shorts. Okay, so yeah, the indices are quite a critical point. They're at a critical zone, or area, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, they're at critical levels. So the next few days, weeks can be really important for the indices, guys. Okay, let's take another look at one of yesterday's trades, guys. Yeah, let's just finish them so we can finish our recap. So if you remember rightly, guys, we was also looking at Bitcoin. So we were looking to buy this pair if certain criteria was met. So yeah, so Bitcoin was in a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then prices shot up from this level. Yeah, obviously an important level. Okay, if it starts dropping lower, Bitcoin is doomed. Okay, and then price. So for me, when these highs are broken, yeah, it's in an uptrend. We have higher highs. Then price come all the way back down here, tested the last low, but it hasn't broke it. Yeah, we had this candle bounce off it. We had this candle. We had this green candle. Okay, and if you remember, guys, when we were looking at this candle here was completely green. But I did mention it hasn't finished forming. All right, which is very important. Yeah, look at what happened. So we were looking for buys. All right, but again, guys, we were looking for this. If we go down to the H1 chart, we said once price broke out of these grey zones, yeah, this grey zone here, once it broke out, which it clearly did, we could then yeah, potentially trade from this gray zone or even this gray zone. Okay, so these were the potential ideas. But this goes to show, guys, how important your criteria is. Remember, your day chart is your why. Why am I longing? Why am I shorting? Why am I staying the hell out? And the H1 chart is your how. How am I going to trade this pair? So, price come down into this grey zone. Thank God we didn't get a setup. Nothing tells me to buy the market. Price come down to this grey zone. Didn't get a reaction. Okay, so you must wait for that reaction, guys. Yeah, it's so important. We didn't get a reaction. Yeah, we didn't trade. Price come crashing down and we stayed out of a bad trade. Yeah, yeah, because our criteria wasn't met, it just kept us out of trouble with Bitcoin. And thank God it did. Yeah, it used that as resistance and come down further. Okay, so yeah, you must know how you are going to trade on the H1 before you even trade it. Yeah, and then if your criteria isn't met, stay the hell out. Okay. If we go back to the day chart, guys, this is the all-important level. Yeah, this level here. Yeah, it all depends what Bitcoin does at this level. If we get another bounce off in the form of a green candle, yeah, I think longs are still on the card. Yeah, if we get a break of this level, who knows what's going to happen to Bitcoin. All right. So again, pivotal level. It feels like everything is at a pivotal level at the moment. Okay, so that was the third trade idea from yesterday. Let's look at the final trade idea from yesterday, and then I will look at oil. Yeah, go. Hello, have you analyzed oil? We'll take a look at oil for you as well. Okay, so yeah, the fourth trade from yesterday, guys, was this. This was gold. Yeah, it's in my intro. I'll give you gold every day. Literally was giving you gold. Okay, so with this one, guys, this trade is still on. Yeah, we're still looking for shorts here. Okay, so our trade idea was this: to short the market. Price was clearly in a downtrend. Yeah, we didn't know what it was going to do at this level. Yeah, come back up and then broke it. Okay, and then, guys, you remember I was talking about this. When we get these boxes, the box of indecision, yeah, like a self-help book. I used this joke yesterday. I apologize if I repeat my jokes. I don't have many. Yeah, so price is clearly in a downtrend, guys. Yeah, these lows here were broken. Clearly in a downtrend, but then we've got indecision here. If you get these little boxes, these little clumps of candles that just show you indecision, I like these because after a period of indecision, price is going to really shoot off somewhere. Yeah, it could be lower, could be higher. Because you've had so much, I don't know what to do with myself. When somebody does know what to do with itself, then price really reacts quickly. Okay, and as you can see, let's really zoom in. Yeah, so this is that box of indecision I was talking about. All right, and then eventually this candle happens. Yeah, it breaks out of these box, breaks these lows. Yeah, we get a bearish candle form. It's not a surprise it's a bearish candle because this market is clearly in a downtrend. Yeah, if you had to put your house on it or torture me, then you would expect it to break lower. All right, and sure enough, it did. Okay, but then you can see as soon as we get this candle, boom, yeah, it wants to come lower. All right, and we've been shorting this gold all week and making nice money. Yeah, we've been making nice money on gold. So again, because of these two candles, we wanted price to come up into our gray zone so we could take it lower. All right, and also look at this wick. Yeah, so even today, this is going to be a trade idea. All right, but gold, we're shorting this market, guys. We are shorting. it hasn't hit my higher time frame target, which is this blue line here, which is this 1,600 psychological level. All right. So that was the trade idea from yesterday. If we go down to the H1 chart again now, yeah, we had two gray zones. All right. Obviously, the higher gray zone didn't come into play. Okay. Instead, the lower gray zone did. So let me zoom in. All right. And we've got quite a few different candles we could enter on here. So price come up into our gray zone. Yeah. We saw this wick. Yeah. But this is not quite an entry candle for me. It wasn't until this candle that I could enter this market. All right. I got a nice retrace on this. Okay. So I got a nice retrace up to here. I put my stop because it's gold and the spread is quite ludicrous. Yeah. You have to give a bit more wiggle room. Yeah. And wiggle room, I put my stop, I believe it was up here. Okay. So this is my entry. This is my stop loss. All right. You have to give gold some wiggle room. The wiggle room is how much room to give your stop. All right. So gold, we give it a bit of room. Okay. Thank God we did. Yeah. So I traded of this and then I took, yeah, remember the last H1 low is always our target. Okay. Always our first target. Okay. So I have closed at this level. I have closed 80%. Yeah. 80% of my trade at this level. And now I am letting 20% run. Yeah. 20. Okay. So closed 80%. I got a risk to reward of roughly 1:2. Happy days. It was another super profitable day yesterday, guys. I hope you followed some of the trade ideas. So yeah, closed 80%, great risk to reward, and now I'm leaving 20% to run. Because my higher time frame target is so far away, I will trail this stop. All right, but I need to see price action. Okay, so if price comes up to here and then starts to move down, then I move my stop from here to here. All right. So you need to see what price action does. I won't be moving my stop from here, yeah, until price action tells me to do so. I need a swing high for it to come back down. Then I can put my stop above that swing high. It makes sense to me. Lots of you guys ask me, do you move your stop to break even? So if this was my stop loss, yeah, moving my stop to break even would be basically moving my stop loss to here, my entry. But no, I don't do that. Why would I do that? Doesn't make sense. I need to hide my stop behind levels. And where I entered is not a level. Okay, so no, I don't do that. So yeah, another excellent trading day yesterday, and that was gold. We've made some nice profit. Okay, have you analyzed? Oh, so nada. Let's take a look at oil for you. But guys, yeah, 4 trades yesterday. 3 of them were good, very nice risk to reward. And Bitcoin, one of them was we couldn't get in on the trade. So well done us. I hope you took a few of these trades, guys. Right, so that's the recap finished. Let's focus on your questions. Let me have some vodka. It's all this talk of torture. It's thirsty work. Okay, laughing at my own jokes. There's nobody else here to laugh with me. So, right. What was we going to look at? Oil, nada, oil. Let's do that for you. Oil, let's move it down. So, oil. So, we've been shorting this from Monday. All right. And I actually took away my target, but my target was around here. Okay. So I see no reason to not keep shorting this market. All right. So price is clearly in a downtrend. Yeah. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Yeah. And then for the last couple of days, we've had these candles fall. All right. Breaking these lows. Okay. So oil price is clearly in a downtrend. Yeah. If I zoom in, we've got two bearish candles and this wick on this candle. So everything is telling me it can come lower. All right. So you wouldn't have to torture me with this one. I would probably short this pair without any torture. Okay. So yeah, I would happily keep shorting this pair, Nada. Let's look at the weekly chart. So yeah, I provisionally put this target in, but the thing here is if I put this blue line in, yeah, and I put this blue line in because historically we've got this level here and this level here, yeah, and that's why it was my target, okay, because we were shorting this from the other day, yeah, so that is a concern, all right, this level shorting into that level is a concern, all right, but if you look at the weekly candle, it's still telling us to come lower, all right. Go back to the day chart. That's the only problem with oil is it hit my higher time frame target already, and can it have a retrace before it comes lower? Yeah, these are the things you have to ask yourself. But I would still short this pair. Yeah, oil, I would short this pair. Okay, potentially down to this blue line, this 70 psychological level. Okay, all right. So yeah, I would short that, Nada. The question you have to ask yourself, will there be a retrace before it comes lower, or can price just continue on lower? All right. Okay, so yeah, oil, we would short that pair. Good morning, Mohammed. Thank you, Tony. You're more than welcome. No problem. Abraham, let's look at Aussie dollar, Swiss franc for Abraham. Let's have a look. Aussie dollar, Swiss franc. Let's bring this down. So I feel it's going to drop. Yeah. So the thing, I do have feelings about pairs, but the thing is, guys, you've almost got to get away from this saying I feel the market's going to do this, I feel the market's going to do that. You shouldn't have a feeling. You should have the market is telling me it's going to do this. The market is telling me it's going to do that. Yeah, that's just a little bit of psychology with trading. It's not what you feel. The market doesn't care how you feel. Abraham, I'm not having a go at you. I know you've probably just used I feel as your way of saying I think it will go down. But you have to, you just have to listen to what the market is telling you. Take your feelings out of it. The market doesn't care about your feelings. All right? Trust me. Yeah. But what are the candlesticks telling me? So let's have a look, Abraham. Let's see what the candlesticks are telling us. So we're going to start with the weekly chart. All right. And yeah, if it does drop, Abraham, there's a hell of a lot of room for it to drop into. Okay. So this is encouraging if you are shorting it. Yeah. I always look for room for my trade to move into. If there isn't any room, don't trade it. All right. But the key level here is obviously this. Let's mark this with a grey zone. Let's do a top-down approach on the Aussie dollar Swiss franc. How exciting. All right. So we've got this here. Okay. Okay. So this grey zone is a pivotal zone on the weekly chart. You can all see that. You don't have to be an advanced trader to understand that is the level. Then price has come down, and on the weekly chart, you can see this wick has closed back into this gray zone. All right. So we have not had a break of this level on the weekly chart. We have not had a break. Okay. Then we're going to go down to the day chart. Abraham, yes. Abraham, I wasn't having a go at you. Okay. So, yeah, then, guys, we go down to the day chart and look at this candle. Yeah. Look at that bullish reaction. I know this was also news related. Yeah, it was the Swiss franc interest rate decision. Their growth wasn't as good as expected. So that was quite a reaction to news. But even with that reaction, it is still in a downtrend. Yeah. If you think of an important area on the day chart, it is this. Yeah. So price has come down. What was once support over here has become resistance. Okay. But just because of this candle, I find it difficult to short into this gray zone. Yeah, we've had this reaction on the day chart. We've already explained on the weekly chart, this gray zone is pivotal. Yeah. So if the day candle breaks below these lows, then Abraham, yeah, you could be onto something. Yeah, this market could be collapsing down. All right. But I would have to wait for a candle to tell me that. Yeah. So, yeah, I would have to wait for a daily candle, even a weekly candle. Yeah, because this is, a weekly, go back to the week chart. Yeah, this is a weekly zone. Yeah, and arguably not a day zone. So if this weekly candle finishes down here, then yes, we can start looking for shorts on this pair. If we go back to the day chart, again, we need to see a break of this low from this very bullish candle. Okay, so it will be interesting to see what price does at these lows. Yeah, we can already see we're getting a bit of a reaction there. Let's go to the H4 chart. Yeah, so here really. Yeah, if the H4 chart starts bouncing up above this last high here, comes back down and comes out, then potential longs. But if it breaks this low, then yeah, room to the downside, Abraham. So yeah, perhaps. Right, guys, vodka. And now let's take a look at today's trade. So we've got a couple of potential day trades now to look at. So for Wednesday, the 28th of September, we've got a couple of days. Well, we've got one definite day trade for you, and there's a couple that I'm not sure about, and I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, so gold, we are happy to keep shorting, guys. So first trade idea for Wednesday, the 28th of September. No torture necessary. We are going to short this market. Okay, so if we start on the day chart, yeah, we still haven't hit my higher time frame target. Yeah, so this has been my higher time frame target all week. Yeah, this 1,600 level. And we've been making nice, and I mean nice money off of this trade all week. Okay, so that is still my higher time frame target. There's no reason to change it. And we still have room to move into. Okay, so this is encouraging. Yeah. We then can see prices in a downtrend. I showed you this earlier. Okay, And also, remember guys, I like the box of indecision. I might trademark this phrase, make millions of pounds. Yeah, so we had a box of indecision. When we get this indecision followed by a bearish reaction with trend, we like this. Yeah, sure enough, the next candle is very bearish, breaking out of this, the lows of this box. Okay, then we've had this candle, and then we've even had this wick form. I know it's a green candle from yesterday, but this wick is still showing me rejection. Okay, so this trade is still fully on. Yeah, this short is still on for me. If we then go down to the H4, let's do a top-down approach. Yeah, my grey zones on the H4 still make sense. Yeah, this higher grey zone is clearly an area of support and then resistance. This lower grey zone, I probably will fine-tune a bit. Okay, so H4, everything's telling me we're going down. These grey zones make sense. Yeah, if we go down to the H1 chart now, again, yeah, these grey zones make sense really. I would probably fine-tune this grey zone to do this. Yeah, so that's what I would do, guys. Again, this is what you should do every day. Your grey zones, your area of support and resistance are not set in stone. Neither is your view of the market. Be flexible. All right. So you need to change your support and resistance zones every day, really, especially on the lower time frames like the H1. Yeah. Stuff happens. Things change. All right. So this is how I would set up my grey zones. All right. Now, yeah, price is obviously at these lows. Okay, so another possibility would be this. Okay, so now we've got three possibilities to short this pair. Okay, let's start with the highest grey zone. So we've got this grey zone. I don't expect it to come all the way back up to this grey zone, all right? But if it does, no problem. We've still got a trade. Yeah, we can wait for a bearish reaction, enter the trade. I would probably close 80% at my next grey zone and then leave 20% to run down to our higher time frame target. If that doesn't happen, guys, I think that's the least likely. Okay, what could happen is this. So price will come back up to this grey zone, yeah, which takes into account these highs, even this low, this high here. Yeah, I'm looking at all of these things. And then we get a bearish reaction, could be a bearish candlestick pattern, but just a bearish reaction. We then enter the trade. Remember, guys, we always close 80% at the last H1 low. Okay, if we're shorting, if we're buying the market, the H1 high, close 80% here and then leave 20% to run. All right, so that is definitely possible. Okay, the third scenario is this: the price. I need to zoom out a bit for this, or zoom in. Okay, I don't know what to do, but this is. We'll see a break of these last H1 lows. So these last H1 lows here are currently holding, all right? Yeah, but if they don't, if price breaks this, we then get a retrace into this grey zone. Yeah, or potentially up to here. But our first bearish candle that tells us sellers are back in control, we can then enter the market and then take price lower as well. Okay, so we've got a few possibilities on gold against the US dollar to short this pair. Okay, so That's our first trade idea for today, gold short. Okay. Oh, what have I done here? I've zoomed in somehow. Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, gold short. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just got one of my trader friends telling me to keep an eye on Bitcoin. It's okay. Right, guys. So yeah, that's the gold trade. So that's my first and only trade really for today, Wednesday, the 28th of September. My second trade idea or potential trade idea, ones I was looking at but didn't quite make the cut, okay, is this. Sorry, guys. Why is... Okay. All right. So pound Aussie dollar. Obviously, this is an against trend trade. But yeah, I mean, look at, we know with the pound, it has had a crazy drop and then a crazy reaction. Yeah, so we had this crazy wick. Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, and then we've had this bullish candle. So potentially we could take price back up just to this level here. Yeah, so I was looking at this as a potential trade, but it's just the pound. The pound is so unpredictable at the moment. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you how I think in the morning. Yeah, I look at all of the pairs and I'm thinking this is a possibility. Maybe we could trade this just up to these last lows here. All right, but because of the pound and its unpredictability at the moment, yeah, it is volatile to say the least. It's not a trade idea. If we drop down to the H4, what I would want to see is a break of this. Yeah, okay. Then we go down to the H1. Yeah, if we got a break of this grey zone, guys, yeah, then a retest, then we could take things higher. But it'll be interesting to see how price reacts in this grey zone. Okay, so yeah, I was looking at it as a potential trade idea, guys, but to be honest with you, it's not. Okay. Is a 80 pips 80 pips stop loss on a 4H time frame too risky? Okay, so Abraham is asking, is 80 pips stop loss on a 4-hour time frame too risky? It depends entirely. It's a good question. Yeah, so let's just say that again. Is an 80 pip stop loss on a 4-hour time frame too risky? No is the answer, but it depends on your money management and how you trade. So I think a perfect example of this would be this Euro New Zealand on the H4 chart. Yeah, this would be a really good example. So remember from yesterday, this was one of our trade ideas and it was a wonderfully successful trade. Okay, let's celebrate with some vodka. Okay, it was a wonderfully good trade, this one. I loved it, even if I got stopped out on the first candle. So if we were trading this pair only on the H4, we're not looking at any other time frame. Remember, the day chart gives us our direction. Then we've got our grey zone plotted. Then this candle is obviously the candle to start buying. Okay, so let's say we entered on the open of this candle and we've put our stop below the low. All right, so let's measure that up. Yeah, we've entered on the close, excuse me, it's the vodka repeating on me. We've opened on the close of this candle. Yeah, and then we take our stop is here. So that is 107 pips. Okay. Yeah, that's 107 pips. So then that's fine. Yeah, you can adjust your lot size. Adjust your lot size accordingly. Yeah. it doesn't really matter if that's 5 pips or 107 pips. The thing with money management is that should be a fixed amount. That should be $100, or that amount should be $1,000. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many pips it is. We just know that from there to there, it's 107 pips. But if I'm incorrect with my view of the trade, then I lose, let's say, $100. Yeah, that doesn't change. Yeah, let's say I entered on this candle. Yeah, just for argument's sake, close of this. I entered, put my stop below the low of the candle. This is now 83 pips, but it doesn't matter. That 83 pips still equals $100. Yeah. Let's say I entered on this candle over here. Yeah. My stop is 62 pips. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Those 62 pips are $100. Okay. So, yeah, we enter here, long as that is $100. But the question you've got to ask yourself, if I'm risking $100, am I making $100? At least. Remember, guys, I have to make at least a risk to reward of 1:1. That is the minimum. Yeah. Yeah. So let's have a look. So this is 107 pips. If we hit our target up to here, that is 107 pips. So yes, to answer your question, Abraham, you could take that trade. Yeah. So we know here to here is 107 pips, and here to here is 107 pips. So yeah, we can take that trade. The risk to reward is there, and yeah, your money management, it doesn't matter how many pips, it just matters the amount of money you are willing to risk. Okay, very important that, Abraham. Right, My Legend Gaming. Do you think you short the dollar soon? It can't keep going up like this. All right, so why won't Bitcoin break 18.5K? So let's have a look. Yeah, okay, so let's look on the weekly chart. Okay, all right, Tony, we'll have a look at pound US dollar as well. I'm not saying price won't break this level. Yeah, I'm not saying price will not break this level. Okay, so this 18.5 level in here, yeah, but this is clearly an area of support. Okay, and price could quite easily break this zone on Bitcoin. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, 18.5. This is a pivotal level for Bitcoin. Yeah. Will it hold? Won't it? I don't know. Yeah. I don't have a crystal ball, but what I can tell you is that there are buyers at this level. Okay. We've seen it here. We've seen it here. We've seen it here. So there are buyers at this level. We know that much. They tried to push it higher, and then sellers brought it back down. Okay, but if I see another bullish candle at this level, I will look to buy this pair. All right, but if price breaks this level, yeah, then shorts are definitely on the cards. Yeah, if it breaks out of this gray zone, breaks these lows, then shorts are definitely on the cards. And like one of my subscribers said, we have a lot of room to move into. Yeah, if we go back to the weekly chart, yeah, we have a lot of room for this to move into. Yeah, before we see any kind of resistance happening or support. Okay, so if it does break this zone, it could be a very good short. Yeah, I would never say price can't break a level. Of course it can. All right, so if price breaks this gray zone, short it. Yeah, you've got a lot of room to move into. The only thing I am seeing are a lot of buyers at this level. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how the weekly candle finishes on Bitcoin. Okay, again, if we get a real aggressive push up like we did here, then buys are on the buys potentially. But then you've also got to look, we still have sellers in this market pushing it back down. So just do what the candlesticks tell you guys. Yeah, read the candlesticks, trade accordingly. Let's have a look at pound US dollar, because this will tie in with another question. Do you think we could short the dollar soon? It can't keep going up like this. And Tony wanted to look at pound US dollar, I believe. Was it pound US dollar? Yes, pound US dollar. Okay, so let's look at pound US dollar to start with. So this will answer both questions. So the thing with the pound is at the moment is, so to answer your question about the dollar, yeah, the dollar, it's the dollar's strength that has taken price all the way down to here. Yeah, if we look at this historically, let's go to the month chart. Yeah, look, crazy. Yeah, I've gone back 20 odd years. There is no floor to this pair. Yeah, there is no floor. Arguably, it could just keep going lower. But the BOE, the Bank of England, have said they would intervene if they need to. Yeah, like what happened with the yen the other day. The Japanese government intervened and brought the yen down. All right. So I see the same happening for the pound. Yeah, I see the Bank of England intervening with this pair. I mean, look at this. Yeah, 1.05. Yeah. So you have to bear that in mind. And yes, I do think the dollar at some point has to have a retrace. I'm not saying the overall higher time frame will start becoming an uptrend, but price would have to have a bit of a retrace before it comes lower. This is what I'm reading with the US dollar pairs. Expecting a retrace, then a move lower. But this is on a very long-term view. This could be weeks, months. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on a very high time view. Pound US dollar, because of this push up, yeah, and it's so oversold, like I say, I do expect price to perhaps come back and head towards the moving average 20, or even this psychological level. I expect it to have some kind of bounce. If it doesn't, it's in real trouble. But, you know, for me, I would stay out of this pair. It's too volatile. The US dollar is too strong. Will the Bank of England intervene? All of these questions lead to crazy volatility on this pair and a lot of the other US dollar pairs. Okay. But again, Tony, if you threaten to torture me by setting my hair alight, this is an old favorite, then I would potentially have to buy this pair. Okay, if we go down to the lower time frames, we look at the 4 hourly, perhaps if price come back down to here, we could start looking for longs. It'll be interesting to see if this level holds, guys. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what price does at this level. Okay. So yeah, could potentially look for buys off of this level. If we look at the H1, yeah, so this is quite an important level. It hasn't, is that broke? No, that's held. Yeah, we've had a bit of a reaction away from this level. But for me, guys, for me to start trading this, I need to see a break in structure on the H1 at least. So, yeah, these are the last highs. Yeah, what was once support, when it breaks, becomes resistance. We know we all love this pattern. I've shown you many times before. So then if price come up, broke this level, and then retested it, then we have potential longs on this pair. But let me get it clear. I wouldn't trade this pair. This is only Tony threatening me with torture that I would trade this pair. Okay, and I would have to see structure break at least on the pound US dollar. If this grey zone doesn't hold, then to be honest with you, I would short it. I would short it down to this level. Yeah. So again, guys, you've got to be flexible in the market. All right. On the H1, I would potentially take shorts if it broke this level down to here, and buys if we saw that structure change. Okay. So that's how I would trade the pound US dollar. Shorts out for day. So, right, let's have one last look, guys, at pound New Zealand dollar. Pound New Zealand dollar. So all of the pound pair, guys, are difficult to trade at the moment, but let's have a look at pound New Zealand dollar. You're looking for shorts, green world. Looking for shorts. Okay, I mean, on the day chart, it's difficult to start shorting that. Yeah, simple as that. It's difficult to start shorting that, first of all. If we drop down to the H4 chart, then potentially, if you're, again, green world, it depends on your time frame and how long you're looking to stay in a trade. All right, but from a daily point of view, I couldn't sell into all of this buying pressure. But if we drop down to the H4 is still technically in a downtrend. Okay, we've had lower lows, the lowest of lower lows, the lowest lows you've ever seen, and then prices come back up, and we have this zone here. Okay, and this is still intact. It was this zone here. All right, so this zone is still intact. So potentially, I want to get it clear, I would not trade this pair, but potentially you could trade from this grey zone downwards. Okay, if we look at the H1 chart, does that back up our view on the H4? What is this telling me? I mean, look at, because price has had such a crazy reaction, look at all of this price. Just doesn't know what to do with itself. I would just stay out of the pound New Zealand dollar. Simple as that. Stay out of it. Yeah, even if you do short it, where are you going to short it to? I mean, technically this is the last area here of support. I mean, you could short it from here down to there. But again, looking at this hourly candle that's just formed, it tells me it's pushing away. It'll be interesting to see what this candle tells us, which will finish forming in 7 minutes. Stay out of it. Yeah, I would stay out of this pair. Okay. If this candle closes back below this grey zone, potentially a short down to here. All right, but yeah, do not like the look of this trade. I'm short Bitcoin from yesterday. Okay, so we've done Bitcoin and I thought I was busy today. All right, so Shabazz, the only trade idea for today is gold, and we're looking to short this pair. There were a couple of other trades that were possibilities. Oil was a possibility. Shorting oil is a possibility. But the main trade for today is shorting gold. Okay, and it's from one of these grey zones here, push lower, or a break of this grey zone, retest, come lower, or even this grey zone, which is less likely. We want to come lower from this level. Okay, so yeah, Shabazz, we're looking at the gold. We're looking at gold short for today. It's the only trade idea for today, guys. What else we got? Yen pairs. The thing with the yen pairs is, guys, is again, we've had, let me move some of these out of the way and move yen pairs in. So yen pairs, let's take a look at a couple. GBP yen, New Zealand yen, I'm just picking a few at random, and euro yen. Okay. So the yen pairs, you need to know, had government intervention. Yeah. The Japanese government started making the yen strong, basically. Okay. And that's why it's been coming, oh, wrong button. That's why it's been coming tumbling down. Yeah. Euro yen, it's been coming down. New Zealand yen, it's been tumbling down. This is also linked with the drops in the indices as well. Obviously, it's not just Japanese intervention, it's also the indices have been dropping as well. And as we know, yen is like a flight to safety currency. Okay, and then pound yen. Let's ignore pound. Look at it. Untradeable for me. Let's give you a different example. Let's look at, where is one? CAD yen. All right. So again, CAD yen price has been tumbling down. So if I had to trade these pairs, yeah, so New Zealand yen, the problem you have is I would look for shorts, but if you look on the weekly chart, yeah, this is where price could change. All right. So New Zealand yen, we cannot keep shorting into this weekly zone. If anything, I would buy out of this zone. Okay. Euro yen, again, if we look on the weekly chart. Okay, so yeah, it's less clear. Let's look on the day chart. But we have this grey zone through here, which takes into account these highs and these lows. Yeah. Was acting as support, then it become resistance. So this grey zone here is a key level. And then we had this candle push up from this level. So I cannot short the yen anymore into these grey zones that I've just shown you. So potentially we could start looking for a bit of a retrace higher out of these zones. Yeah, so the yen is a difficult one, guys. We've got weekly pressure down and we've got weekly pressure up as well. Yeah, we've got day pressure. I've got to stop doing that. I don't even know how I'm doing it. We've got day pressure down and then support coming up. Yeah, difficult to trade that. New Zealand yen, if we look on the day chart, we've got potential buying pressure up. And then we've got selling pressure down. If the markets are like this with selling pressures hitting heads, I stay out of the market, guys. So for me, yen pairs are just difficult to trade, guys. How come US dollar, Japanese yen pairs are different to other yen pairs? Well, it's because it's against the US dollar. The US dollar is just king at the moment. The US dollar is the strongest thing since Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, it's just crazy strong at the moment. Eventually it will have to have a bit of a retrace. Yeah, but yeah, the dollar is king at the moment. Right, guys, what I'm going to do now, we're going to take a quick look at the news for today. Okay, so let's show you the important news for today. I'm doing this on a different computer. So overnight, guys, we had some news coming out. All right, but the first piece of news, well, which has also come out as well. So we've had some news that's been and gone. So this consumer confidence, yeah, for today, 7 o'clock London GMT. This has already been and gone, guys, but this was worse than expected. All right, so that might affect the euro negatively. We've also got 8:15. We've got the president of the ECB, Lagarde, speaking. So when she speaks, guys, Obviously, she can move the markets. If we carry on down, guys, the next high rating that we're looking for. Okay, again, this, guys, it says medium rating on here, but I would disagree. At 3:15 London GMT, we've got the Fed Chair Powell speaking. Yeah, when he speaks, he's probably the most powerful financial man in the world. All right, so yeah, when he speaks, he could really move the markets, guys. And then if we carry on down, there is no other news that we're interested in today, guys. So yeah, just a couple of speakers today, and we've had that German news come out already. All right, guys. So yeah, that's the important news for today. What's the time? All right, let's look at one more question. So US dollar. Let's have a look at the US dollar Japanese yen. Yeah, so this also ties in with the yen pairs that JL was interested in, and also Abraham was interested in this pair. So we'll look at this pair, guys. So yeah, if we compare US dollar yen, yeah, it's clearly in an uptrend, okay, because that is US dollar strength. The US dollar, as I just said, is like Schwarzenegger at the moment. It is powerful. Whereas if you compare it with Canadian dollar yen, this is just telling us that yen is more powerful than the Canadian dollar. But yen is not more powerful than the US dollar. The most powerful currency at the moment is the US dollar. Okay, that's it. But the yen is more powerful than the Canadian dollar at the moment. The yen is more powerful than the euro at the moment. The yen, this is the New Zealand yen. The yen is more powerful than the New Zealand dollar at the moment. Okay, so that's why they're different. Yen is stronger than most of the other currency pairs, but if we go back to US dollar Japanese yen, it is not more powerful, not stronger than the US dollar. So that's why you are seeing this, Abraham. All right. And then let's analyze this as a pair. Again, this was the government intervention I was talking about. Yeah, this candle here is where the government of Japan intervened. All right. So for me, can we keep buying into this level? No. Yeah, I cannot buy this pair. I cannot buy into this level. All right. Will it go higher? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But if price breaks above this high here, yeah, then we could start potentially looking for longs. And then if price comes down and breaks this grey zone here, then we could start looking for shorts. I expect, yeah, this is a hunch. We don't trade hunches. We trade what the candles tell us. But my hunch is price might just range a bit. Okay, but we shall see. Okay, but yeah, US dollar is the all-conquering powerful currency at the moment, and the yen just happens to be stronger than the others. All right, guys. So yeah, let me just summarize for today. So gold, we're shorting gold for today. That's the only trade idea for today, shorting gold. There were a couple of others. Oil, shorting oil was a possibility. Long in the pound Aussie dollar, but they didn't make the cut, guys. So only gold, US dollar. We're looking to short this pair. If you've enjoyed this, guys, remember, please subscribe to the channel. Come join us. Smash that notification button and also smash the like button, guys. All right. Don't forget, we do this every Wednesday, guys. Don't forget our Discord channel. And if some of you are interested in mentoring, being mentored by myself, then please email me at hellosimplyforex@gmail.com. All right, guys. We'll call it a day. I hope you've enjoyed the live stream. I hope I answered all of your questions, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys.